The story starts with a little girl whose mother left her with a strange man. She cries every day, hoping her mom will come back and take her home. She doesn't know her mother left her as a bail and disappeared. But this man is not who everyone thinks he is. He has hidden sides and secrets that will surprise everyone. The young girl's life fell apart when her mother, deep in debt, made a terrible choice. To get rid of her money troubles, she sold her daughter to a gang leader, promising to come back the next day to take her home. But the girl waited, and her mother never returned. When the girl demanded answers, the gang leader told her that her mother abandoned her. The girl screamed, refusing to believe it, and desperately wanting her mother back. But she was left alone with her sadness and betrayal. The man hugs the girl, and tears come to his eyes. It turns out his name is Q. He's a former soldier who got out of the army and became a loan shark. In real life, he is actually an incredibly soft-hearted and gentle man. He buys Lily a cheeseburger and gives her his own room to sleep in. When he sees a homeless man in the road chasing Lily, he immediately drives him away. Q was a good man who didn't really want to kidnap Lily. He believed that Lily's mother would do anything to repay and get her daughter back. After all, what kind of mother in the world would throw away her daughter in exchange for $10,000? But Lily's mother hasn't shown up for a long time. The last time Q saw her, she was being held captive in a police station with a bunch of people. The police told Q this woman was being not legally detained. They were going to deport her to her home country. Before she left, she had to see Q. Lily's mother asked Q to take care of her for a while. She said that Lily's uncle would contact him in a few days to pay off the loan shark and pick up the girl. Finally, Lily's mother pulled out a picture in a pager and asked Q to give it to Lily. She also asked him not to tell the girl the truth, but to tell her that the mother had gone to work. Sooner or later, she would come back for her. Looking at that poor woman, Q once again felt weak. He found Lily and took her home. He told a well-meaning lie to his mother. Lily looked at Q and asked, "Did Mom really say that?" Q turned away from Lily and couldn't look her in the eye because deep down, he knew that this poor little girl might never see her mother again. Lily was a good girl when all the other kids were at school. She was at home doing laundry and mopping the floor, helping Q. When she heard the sound of footsteps, she turned off the TV and greeted respectfully Q. Q was surprised, as he hadn't asked Lily to do this chore. Later, the girl asked him, saying, "Uncle, have you ever been to Busan?" He replies, "Yes." Then she says, "Is my mom really coming to pick me up? Or are we getting to her?" So, that's what Lily had hoped and expected Q to take her to her mother's house. Soon, Q got a call from the girl's uncle. He says he is coming to pick up Lily. Q was finally relieved. But before parting with Lily, Q wanted to celebrate and make some good memories for her. Q took Lily to a clothing store to buy her a nice dress, but he looked at the price and panicked and took Lily away from there. He then picked out the cheapest dress for the girl in the recycling department. After that, Lily said he had one more wish. She wants to see the concert before she leaves. Of course, Q doesn't want to spend money on tickets, but to satisfy the girl's wish, he decides to do it. In the middle of the concert, he led Lily through the back door. She was very happy that night. After the concert, Lily wants to buy a CD as a souvenir. Q was a little upset about the price, but then the staff says, he's a great dad since he has a good and soft heart. Q, hearing this, made a decision to make her happy. Out of shoes, he pulled out the money he had hidden in his sock. On the way back, Lily hugged Q and he panicked and told Lily not to do it. Back home, Q bought Lily a cake for her birthday. It wasn't a girl's birthday, but Q knew they wouldn't see each other again. Lily wasn't very happy, though, as she had grown attached to Q over time. When it was time to part ways, Q bought Lily a used CD player at the station, hoping she would think of Q while listening to the CD's songs. Unfortunately for Q, Lily leaves him with her uncle on the bus to Busan. Q deliberately pretended like he didn't care. Actually, he was in a very bad mood. The first day Lily left, Q felt like he had lost his soul. He started sending messages on Lily's phone and called back like 100 times, but got no response from Lily. Q had a very bad feeling. He thought, maybe something had happened to her? Another afternoon, Q finally got a call from Lily, but what he heard was heartbreaking. Her voice was broken, and her face was bruised. He thought, how could she get it? Turns out the uncle who had taken little Lily away that day was a scumbag. He sold her to someone else, who not only kept Lily from going to school, but treated her like a slave. She had to sweep floors, scrub toilets, and clean up trash every day. One night, Lily was unexpectedly called to a private room to clean up a mess. There was a customer. He was angry because he was not satisfied with the service and the shards of glass he threw hit Lily's face. Lily bandages the wound and takes the opportunity to steal a phone and call Q for help. Upon getting to know her whereabouts, Q immediately rushed in anger and drove to that place. He was distraught when he saw Lily's condition. He took Lily with him and assured her that everything gonna be okay now on. On the way back, Lily wiped Q's hand and he laid the girl down and stroked her head. After some time, he takes the responsibility for Lily to the end. Q wants her to go to school, but the school teacher says that Lily is here illegally and cannot attend educational institutions unless Q becomes her father. When Lily hears this, she runs away depressed. She is still convinced that her mother would come back for her one day. Finally, with Q's entreaties, Lily agreed. She studied hard and passed all the exams. In a matter of time, Lily grew up and entered a good university with excellent grades. Although Lily never called Q her father, but in each other's hearts, they became close as father and daughter. Q couldn't even forget Lily for a second. They were inseparable all this time. They were even better than father and daughter. There are no words to describe Q's fatherly feelings for Lily. But one day, Q got a call from Lily's grandmother. She said that Lily's mother was very sick and wanted to see her daughter. After all these years, Lily no longer had a grudge against her mother. They hugged each other and cried deeply. Q closed the door and couldn't disturb them. Before saying goodbye, Lily's mother made Q one more wish. She wanted him to find her father, who had left her a long time ago, so that he could be reunited with his daughter. Then Q agreed. Back home, he finally found Lily's heartless father, who already has a new family. When Lily decides to confront her father, Q, standing at the door, walks away in despair. Q returns home, looks at Lily's baby pictures and smiles, but deep down in his heart he is very, very hurt because Lily could be taken away from him through the courts. At that moment, the phone rings and Q picks it up. She says, "Hi, Daddy." It was the first time Lily had ever called Q Daddy. At that moment, Q felt the greatest joy of his life. Her daddy left her here. Q has to get her out of here. Q says to wait for him in the same place where she is right now. Then Lily waited and waited, but her dad never showed up. The man disappeared, with no trace. Lily looked for him for 10 years and couldn't even find an information where he possibly was. She went to the police station to see if there was a man named Q, but the police searched all the files and found nothing. 10 years later, Lily suddenly thought of Q. She excitedly asked the police if a man named Castle existed. As a child, Lily used to call him Castle. Surprisingly, the age and name matched Q's description, and the man was in a nursing home. The girl arrived immediately and got to know that the place was more like a mental institution than a nursing home. Q was kept here, in a small room. The doctor said that he had been suffering from a brain attack for a long time, but refused treatment. Unfortunately, he was in a car accident the day he was driving to pick up Lily, and because of that, he lost his memory. He only remembers 2 names, Castle, as Lily called him, and Garanti, as he called Lily as a child. These two names are written down in Q's notebook. At the end, we see Lily finally with Q, who looks very sick. Although he no longer recognizes Lily, he reacts to her words and pulls out the CD player he once bought for Lily. Lily tearfully says, "I will never let you go from now on, and I, no matter how, will get your memory back." Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to hit the bell and like the video.